I mean, I didn't really want it to cover it. However, the AP News headline was intriguing enough for me to actually click on this and read it. So let's read it. US and Russia tout prisoner swap as a victory, but perceptions of the deal show stark differences. So we're gonna read it. President Vladimir Putin strode along the red carpet between 2 rows of rifle-toting honor guards and warmly greeted intelligence operatives freed in the biggest prisoner swap with the West since the Cold War. The motherland hasn't forgotten about you for a minute, Putin said, embracing each of them after they walked down the steps of the jetliner that ferried them home. Putin, who rarely, if ever, travels to the airport to greet foreign heads of the state these days, was delivering a clear, morale-boosting message to his security services: if you get caught, Russia will bring you home. For the Kremlin, Vadim Krasikov, the hitman imprisoned in Germany for killing a former Chechen militant in Berlin, was perhaps the most important component in the exchange that saw 8 Russians swapped for 16 Westerners and Russian dissidents who had been imprisoned in recent years. Moscow freed American journalist Evan Gershkovich and Arzu Kurmasheva, former US Marine Paul Whelan, and group of top dissidents. Washington extolled it as a major diplomatic victory, but so did Moscow. About this, honestly, I would say, yeah, you have to give them props for getting these guys, I guess, some of them home. A lot of people who were simply against Putin were released. Some of them were not really Americans to begin with. If I remember correctly, I don't know, it's been some days since I saw it. Quite funny because on the internet, obviously on the internet, there's going to be a toxic debate about this. So people pointed out that Trump had promised to bring some of these guys home, and which he did not, while Biden did. I mean, let's say it completely honestly. Russia has gotten their intelligence officers, their top tier hitman probably, or one of their good hitmans back, which is a victory for Russia, same as when they got their Merchant of Death back. I forgot his name, but you probably know him. There was a movie made about him. Nicolas Cage starred as him, or starred in that movie, so you probably know it. Very famous guy got released. That was a major victory for the Russians because they pretty much got him for a basketball player. Then they released, I think, 16 possible civilians. Maybe some of them are undercover CIA agents. You never know. But yeah, this is a victory for the Russians because they got a lot of their useful personnel back. Putin is sending a signal that those working abroad will have maximum protection, and that if they are arrested, the state will fight for their return and roll out the red carpet for them, said Tatiana Stanovaya, a senior fellow at Carnegie Russia Eurasia Center. She noted that Russian and Western perceptions of the deal were starkly different. In the West, it is being viewed from humanitarian and political perspective, closely followed by media significant for society, Stanovaya told the AP. In Russia, it's not an issue for society, it's an issue for the state. The average Russian probably doesn't even know the names of those who returned, she added. But for Putin, those who returned to Russia are real heroes, patriots who worked for the state and defended the national interest. Indeed, this is a dilemma between a humanitarian perspective and from a patriotic perspective or national interest perspective. On this, only you can make your own opinion. You can form your own opinion, whichever side got the better deal. My opinion is that the Russians have gotten a better deal. However, I will completely understand if you think it was the West who has gotten a better deal. It is only yours and yours opinion too, yeah, that matters. Krasikov was convicted in the August 23rd, 2019 killing of Zelimkan Tornike Kangoshvili, a 40-year-old Georgian citizen who had fought Russian troops in Chechnya and later claimed asylum in Germany. At his sentencing to life in prison 2021, German judges said Krasikov has acted on the orders of the Russian authorities, who gave him the resources to carry out the killing. In 2019, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov denied any Russian involvement in the killing, but on Friday he said Krasikov is an officer of the Federal Security Service and once served in the FSB's Special Forces Alpha unit along with some of Putin's bodyguards. By including Krasikov in the deal, Putin has shown how important it is to him to secure the return of imprisoned Russian spies, said Nigel Gould-Davies, senior fellow for Russia and Eurasia at the London-based International Institute for Strategic Studies. He noted the Russian leader's determination to get Krasikov back was the key to his exchange. Russia released twice as many people as the West in what Gould-Davies described as striking departure from the strict parity, or better that Russia always insisted on in previous swaps. When it suits him, Putin has occasionally accepted unequal exchanges. That once again, this is something you can only decide from a perspective, whether it is an unequal exchange or not. In September 2022, Ukraine agreed to free jailed opposition leader Viktor Medvedchuk, whom Putin had previously known, and dozens of other people in exchange for over 200 Ukrainians and foreigners in Russian captivity. Gould-Davies said Putin, a KGB veteran, could have been driven by a strong personal loyalty to the undercover agents in Thursday's swap. Putin now places such a high value on his spies that he is prepared to agree to an unfavorable exchange, he said. Abbas Galyamov, a political analyst and former Putin speechwriter, described the swap as a way to ensure the loyalty of Russian operatives abroad and make them realize that he will make every effort to pull them out of prison. Putin showed to all his spies, killers and other people who he uses abroad that he's like their father, Galyamov said. It's important because it ensures their loyalty. Yes, this is also a beneficial side effect that he pointed out. Like when you see that they actually care about you, that they will do everything in their power to get you out, or as you would view it, then they will be definitely much more loyal to you and they will probably be less likely to desert to the other side. Dmitry Medvedev, the deputy head of the Putin-chaired Security Council, declared on his messaging app channel that while it would be desirable to see traitors of Russia riot behind bars, it's more useful to get our guys out. The anti-Western hawk added ominously that the traitors should now frantically be choosing new names and hiding under witness protection programs. Among these released by Russia were Vladimir Kara-Murza, a Pulitzer Prize winner writer serving 25 years on a treason conviction widely seen as politically motivated, opposition activist Ilya Yashin, imprisoned for his criticism of the war in Ukraine, associates of the late opposition Alexei Navalny, and Oleg Orlov, a veteran human rights campaigner. While some voiced hope the freed activists could reinvigorate Russia's beleaguered and fragmented opposition that has lacked a charismatic leader since Navalny's death, others point to steep challenges they will face. Stanovaya said it would be hard for them to make their voices heard in Russia, where most people lack access to independent media and liberal views are shared by a relatively narrow segment of the public. She predicted the Kremlin will portray them as serving Western interests, especially Kara-Murza, a dual Russian-British citizen who was vocal supporter of sanctions against Moscow. Galyamov also said Kremlin doesn't view the freed activists as a major threat. Released opposition figures won't cause any additional issues for the Kremlin, he said, adding that the messages that Yashin and others sent from prison evoke more sympathy and interest. The Kremlin wins from this deal. And I agree. The Kremlin is probably on the better side here. Maybe they may have not gotten less people, however, the quantity doesn't always have to be the best option here. Sometimes the quality surpasses quantity. And yes, something I did not say, but was pointed out in this article is that This will also serve as a gesture to all of his agents abroad, that they will see that the Russians will try to break them out of the prison if they serve the Russian, if they serve Russia vigorously.